Welcome to Brave Together Parenting, an empowering and truly helpful podcast for the parents of children with disabilities and all unique needs.
I love asking guests, like, what is bringing you joy right now in this moment? And I feel like poetry is one of those things. Can we also talk about your toy poodle, please?
Of course. Of course.
Is he a source of joy?
I can honestly say that if it wasn't for the unconditional love that that little bundle of fur on 4 legs has given me, I may not be sitting opposite you right now, speaking to you at this moment.
Yes. Yes.
I've never had the joy of being a human parent, but I feel like I'm a dog parent. And don't mess with me, and don't you even tell me anything negative about my dog, because you will suffer. But no, he is my joy. And it was a challenge for me it wasn't a challenge for me to make the decision to have him, to get him. It was a challenge trying to convince those nearest and dearest to me that I needed this.
Yeah, right.
I needed someone in my life that took me away from just going to work, coming home. I needed to have someone to pour my love into that would just look at me with those eyes and be like, well, you're the best mama in the world. Like, if I could stay by your side then all day, then that's what I do. And I had gotten him also with the intent that I would bring him to my workplace and to provide. I worked with high school students, which, it's a very challenging time. It's very stressful. It's a lot of upheaval. And the times that I did bring him in so that he could visit, my students would just come in and cuddle him.
Yeah.
And even my colleagues would be like, oh my God, I just need a moment.
Yeah.
And so that was the purpose. Here's this little thing that just wants to be loved on. And, I'd bring him to work and he would be there for 2-3 hours and he wouldn't bark. He wouldn't pee. He would just play and just be like, okay, you're not feeling well. Let me just love on you too. And I think by nature, poodles are very sensitive and very, very caring. The day I got him, I was so excited. I can remember it like it was yesterday. He was 7 weeks old. That's the time that they're able to leave their mama. And he actually, his breeder, who's become a very good friend of mine, they lived like 4 hours away. So she brought him down in a car because I couldn't travel to get him. She literally put him in my arms and he fell asleep on my chest for 2 hours. And I was sobbing. That was it. I was like, it could thunder. We could have an earthquake. This is me. And I always used to say, oh, I'm never going to be one of those dog moms that goes above and beyond. Well, this little monster has just about everything. I have no money. He's going to get something.
That's right.
I go to the store because I don't get a chance to go out very much. I'm going to buy him something. I'm in pain. He knows exactly where to go. He knows exactly where to sit. He knows exactly where to put his head when I'm lying in the bed. He knows exactly when to lick away my tears. If we're out in public and we're taking him on a walk. One of the reasons why I also got him was that I've trained him to do his business in the bathroom because I can't take him out first thing in the morning, and the weather here is quite snowy and icy. So, but if we're out in public, he will run my friends and assistants ragged, to try to because they have to chase him. He's on the lead, of course, but with me, he's just right by my side. He does one of these things yep, this is me. I'm with my mama. And he'll just look up at me when we stop at a curb to go down, and when we go to cross the street, and when we go a little bit faster. If he sees somebody in a wheelchair, out in public, he will go to them and, put his paw on them or put his head up to be cuddled. I don't know where that comes from. And some of the people in this neighborhood are elderly. And so you just see the joy that they just feel.
Yeah.
And we don't speak Finnish, and he's got curly hair at the top of his head, and he just craves that. So yeah, he's just my Sisu.
Thanks so much for listening today. Do us a favor and leave us a review and a rating so that this podcast can get into the ears and the hearts of more and more moms. Did you know that Brave Together Parenting Podcast is an extension of our nonprofit organization, We Are Brave Together? We Are Brave Together serves an international community of caregiving moms, offering support groups that are virtual and in-person, educational resources, and low-cost weekend retreats. And we have published our first anthology of caregiving stories entitled Becoming Brave Together, Heroic, Extraordinary Caregiving Stories from Mothers Hidden in Plain Sight. It will encourage and validate every parent caregiver. To join us today, go to wearebravetogether.org. Our support and sisterhood awaits you. Brave Together Parenting Podcast is for entertainment and education purposes only. It's not a substitute for professional care and should not be relied on for medical or mental health advice. The use of any content on our podcast, links, show notes, or on our website is to be done at your own personal risk. Please seek out a professional to assess your own medical or mental health concerns, because we are all beautifully complex and the content of this podcast is for a broad audience.